Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. Welcome back to Bitesize. We took a little break just so that we could concentrate on the GCSEs, but we're back today. 3 more bite sizes before the end of the academic year. So it's super exciting. We've got Sylwia this morning, and she's going to talk to us about Baamboozle and tell us how to use the platform and all the cool things it can do. So over to you, Sylwia.
Thank you, Sarah. Let me just unmute myself. I hope you can all hear me. And yes, so hello, everyone. Good morning. Just a quick recap of why we're doing those sessions, just to introduce this culture of sharing good practice. And our pledge to you is that we always start and finish those sessions on time. We give you quality and something you can take away from those sessions and implement into your sessions right away. Today's session sits within learning activities, core practices, and enhanced, where a range of challenging and engaging learner-centered activities are used effectively to develop and enhance key skills, including critical thinking, problem solving, and inquiry skills, but also within assessment and learning checks, core practices, where various assessment strategies are regularly used to check learners' understanding and gauge their progress in lessons. And the aims of today's session is that by the end of it, you'll be able to locate ready-made resources on Baamboozle and build custom decks using AI to generate questions, and also identify some uses for your own FE use cases. So, what is this Baamboozle? Basically, it's a platform which is like zero tech friction, very popular gaming platform, the easiest setup to drive classroom interaction without student devices. So no apps needed, not dead phone batteries or logging in, or bypasses data limits, which is perfect for quick starters, or particularly when you're in the Elliott building and there's either no Wi-Fi or not great signal, then this game is for you. So how to play it in 3 simple steps. Basically, step number 1, you select the game. So you search over 3 million free teacher-made games on any topic, from ESOL, construction, BTEC, any really, or you can build up your own game from scratch in under 60 seconds, I hope. Depends how many questions you want. Step number 2 is you configure your game, select up to 4 teams. So on a free version, you can only select up to 4 teams, and then you've got a choice between a quiz, which is standard questions, or classic, which is my favorite, and it's chaotic. It includes chaotic power-ups. So for example, points taken up from randomly from another team, or swapping points with another team. So it gives that kind of engagement, and it boosts actually engagements. And you show the interactive board on your projector, and then you run it. Teams take turn picking tiles or numbers. You prompt group discussion, you check their answers, and click to award points. And I'm going to show you how to do it. I just wanted to mention that this game was introduced to me by our lovely tutor Magdalena Walsh-Rivers from ESOL department many years ago, actually. And I've used it, I've been using it since then. So thank you, Magda, for sharing this great game with me. Now, so what we have is, what we do, we go to Baamboozle, you log in for free, and you go to games. You search for any games, for example, maths, say, fractions. You've got a number of games that that come up. Some may include mistakes, but you can make them your own and edit them, delete the questions that you don't want. So you play on the game, for example, you click on the game that you like, and so when you click on it, it reveals the answer. To play it, you just basically click the play button here. You go onto the first one, Baamboozle, because it's the free version. You choose the number of teams you want. The maximum is 4 on a free account, and the grid size. So, but I tend to play with 2 teams as well. And then you've got themes. So instead of numbers, you can have, I don't know, jobs that will be displayed and students will choose. And then quiz, you choose between quiz or classic. Now, quiz is questions only, but when you go to classic mode, it will include those power-ups, for example, moving points from one team to another. So that's why it's called Baamboozle, basically. So there you've got, and then you split your class into two teams, for example. You get them to stand up and they choose, you can either have the standard numbers or jobs or any other tiles. You click on a tile and they do the fraction, you give them a time. Then what I do, basically, I tell them to discuss their answers with their peers and I select the student to give me the answer. If the answer is, once the answer is given, you check and then you award a point. And another one, and here that's the thing, that's the trick, swap points. And that's when the teams swap points. So it's a bit unfair, but that's the whole idea of this game. Let me just go back to my slide. There are, so what I do, the engagement hack, I call it, where there is 100% focus. You split your class into teams and you make it very clear that every member is expected to explain the answer. Now, because the risk is that when they're in big teams, only the star students participate. But what you do is you select a random team member to speak using either a wheel of names or platforms such as Ginzy and Name Picker, or just randomly choose names yourself. And because the same student can be called repeatedly, everyone has to pay attention and actively coaches each other. So what I do once I've got the games, right, the game set up in two teams, I go to Ginzy. I did a bite-sized training on this, so if you want, you can have a look at it. And I go to tools. Let me just show you. I go to Name Picker. I've already got this set up, Baamboozle Group A. So save. And then I go again. I go to Name Picker, Baamboozle Group B. And so I've got two name pickers, two teams, and that's how I split students before the game starts. And so there's a question, you give the team one, for example, some time, and then they have to ensure that every member of the team knows the answer and knows how to explain it. Then you go to your name picker and randomly choose a person to speak. So then when you go to check answer, okay, another team chooses the next question. They've got time, and then they discuss it together. So I go to group B here. I choose the person, the name picker chooses the person, and that person answers that question. And then you may, if it's incorrect, I encourage the other team to think of the answer as well. So if it's the wrong one, I go to the other team, but they will not get a point. Right. So, that is really the key thing in this game. So you've got two teams or up to four teams standing without their phones. They really have to talk to one another about the answers and how they actually, why this is particularly, why is this answer a correct one? Because they may be asked to provide the answer. And now, if you wanted to create your own game, you can, and I use AI to do it. So basically what you do is, I've got this prompt, act as a GCSE English language teacher, give me a list of 10 revision questions for language features. Use a mix of common GCSE language features, such as metaphor and so on, and format it exactly as a numbered list. So what I do, I copy and paste this into ChatGPT or Gemini, and it will give me a list of the questions, right? So what I do now is I go to Baamboozle, I go to my library here, I click on game, GCSE, you title it, anything really. Here, you click make game. And then what you do, what I do basically, I copy the question, go to paste it. I go to here again, I copy the answer and paste it in the answer. Points 15, save, question 2. And the process is repeated. Copy, I go to question, paste it, answer metaphor, copy, I paste it here, save. So I've got 2 questions. And the process, you repeat the process basically. If I don't like this one, obviously, I may skip it. You choose the questions that you want, or you create your own questions. But basically, I found that this can save a lot of time. And obviously, once you've actually created one game, you can reuse it in the future with other classes or in the following years, for example. Again, and you copy hyperbole, the answer, proofread actually what AI has created for you, and then you close it and the game has appeared here. Right, this is your game. Obviously, if I was to play it, to set it up for my students, I'd have more questions. But what you do, you go to play, Baamboozle, 2 teams, classic, and there you go. Right? You get the students to think. I go to pick up a random student to give me the answer, check, okay, and move on. Yeah, so you can create your own games and it's really, really good because you can reuse them later. Okay, here are some, let me just go to slideshow. Here are some other prompts, differentiated ones for ESOL, but you can really use those prompts to generate questions for your own subject area. Now, what's great about those games is that you can really activate your morning starters. So you can run a rapid 10-minute retrieval challenge to wake up your morning class and immediately focus attention. It's really good because any latecomers can join in flawlessly, seamlessly, the game without causing any interruptions. And it's just something different rather than having questions for students to answer. It's a game without any digital devices. There's a paid account, but the only difference between free and paid version is that in a paid account, you can create more teams, 8+ teams, and you can integrate videos, private decks, or student tracking. You can't track students' progress here on a free account, but that's fine. Still does its job. And now, why is it good? Because it promotes peer learning. It turns a simple quiz into a collaborative learning activity where high-level students are forced to explain the concept to lower-level students before giving the final answers. Because you can, using a name picker, they all have to make sure, and it's a teamwork. It builds the team as well, because they all have to know the answer. So there's a lot of peer learning happening. It's a total accountability because you might call on anyone and you can do it repeatedly. Students can't zone out and let the others do the job. They are in a big team. Low stakes, high engagements. It reduces anxieties of a student being put on the spot individually because they have their whole team supporting them with the answer first. And study mode, this is something that I have been using as well. Students can play it at home. So basically you paste the link onto Google Classroom and the questions turn into flashcards. Let me show you. So when you go onto Baamboozle, when you go onto, you've got your game or the game that you have, for example, searched, which is one of those games that are available for you, you click on study mode and then you basically copy and paste this onto Google Classroom. And this will give learners an opportunity to practice this at home. Right, so that's the whole game. Very simple. I think we might have played it once in the conference center, but it really does its job in terms of engagement. So if you're not sure how to use it, please feel free to reach out and have a go, particularly now when we're finishing off the year and you just want something to recap the materials and to engage your learners. Yeah, so thank you very much and have a lovely day. Thank you, Sarah.
Not
Not
so
so
fast,
fast,
Sylwia.
Sylwia.
Got a
Got a
couple of
couple of
questions. I'm
questions.
going to
I'm
be
going to be
super
super
quick.
quick.
Sure.
Some of them I think you've answered. Usma's asked if you can embed the link with Google Classroom.
You can for study mode, because otherwise you're doing it in class, right? If you want your learners to practice this at home, then you select a study mode
Brilliant.
and copy the link into a Google Classroom. But the whole idea of this game is that you play it in class when you split the class into teams.
That's a really good point. Excellent
Mhm.
stuff. Next question from Irina. Is there a limit to how many games can be saved or created? Good question.
I don't think there is a limit. You can create as much as you want, as many games as you want. It's just the limit on the number of teams that you set up. So maximum 4 teams in your class. But I've had 20 students and I split them into 2 teams. And by actually selecting, picking up random names, it worked really well in big teams as well.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Just one last question from Uzma. Can we share the link with other teachers as well? Another good question.
Of course, yes, you can share the games that you have created or the games that are available there. You can share a link, copy and paste.
Brilliant.
So for example, once I found the game, I copy and paste it into my planning document that I use. So I don't have to go to Baamboozle today, for example. I just have the link ready. You can do it while planning a lesson.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sylwia. There's also the chat has just been popping off for you this morning. Lots of love for you. Lots of positivity around Baamboozle. Like I say, a fantastic demo. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
And
lovely.
guys, we're going to love you and leave you. See you later. Have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.